Is the Women's Africa Cup of Nations, and we're gradually waiting for the semi-finals. Meanwhile, Morocco head coach Jorge Vilda says the Atlas Lionesses are determined to reach the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations final after securing qualification for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. Morocco faced Cameroon in crucial semi-final, with Vilda insisting World Cup qualification is not enough for his team. The Spanish coach says his players are confident, motivated, and ready to embrace the pressure of playing before a passionate home crowd.
The semi-final, we don't feel like a favorite in this moment. We know we have strong teams ahead to play the semi-final. Cameroon do a great job in the competition as we work and perform well in all the matches. I think the semi-final will be a very balanced game, equal game, and will be definitely finished in little details to decide who win, or Cameroon or Morocco. But I hope, I'm sure that if my team.
Away from the Moroccan team, Nigeria Football Federation has apologized to President Bola Tinubu and Nigerians following the Super Falcons' failure to secure a direct qualification ticket for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup at the ongoing Women's African Cup of Nations. NFF President Ibrahim Gusso, speaking on behalf of the Executive Committee, players and the wider football family expressed regret over the disappointment caused by the setback. Now, the Federation acknowledged the federal government's support for women's football and the Super Falcons, particularly following their previous WAFCON triumph. The NFF stressed that Nigeria's World Cup hopes remain alive through the CAF playoff route, pledging to regroup and address shortcomings. Let's also let you know that Nigeria trained today, or they returned to training for the first time since the 2026 Women's Africa Cup of Nations campaign ended in disappointment. Nigeria's 10-time African champions were knocked out after a narrow defeat to Cameroon in the quarterfinals, ending their hopes of defending the continental title. Attention now shifts to crucial World Cup playoff match against South Africa's Banyana Banyana, with both teams battling for a route to the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup. Now, joining us at this time tonight is our sports correspondent, who is currently in Morocco, Onyinyechi Obaroh. Good evening to you. Welcome to the show. Apologies from the Nigerian Football Federation president, saying that president was sorry, we could not give you the World Cup ticket directly, but we have a chance through the CAF playoff route.
I don't know whether President Bola Tinubu will accept the apology or not, but we are all, pained by the fact that the Super Falcons are not going to go to the World Cup as direct qualifiers. The route to the World Cup is now long and tedious, and there are no guarantees. It comes as early as tomorrow when we play South Africa. South Africa is a tough team to play. They also, just like Nigeria, are, still trying to wake up to the reality of missing direct qualification. So that game is not on Thursday. It's not going to be an easy game at all. But for us as Nigeria, we have to find a way to get a result. We've never missed that on the World Cup before, since it started in 1991 in China. We've always qualified for the World Cup as, representing Africa. So nobody wants that ignominious record of being the first federation in place when the Falcons didn't go to the World Cup. So we have to do everything legitimate on Thursday to get the result over South Africa, and then begin serious planning, whatever we need to do to improve this team technically in terms of spirit, optimism, enthusiasm, everything possible between now and November when the playoffs will begin. We have to put that in place as well.
Wally, Toyin mentioned what we need to do. First off is to win South Africa. But looking at the team as a whole, is it a case of we not having the right talent in personnel experience? Is it a case of not having the a coach who is tactically, because we look at the WAFCON at the moment, the teams that have qualified to the semi-finals, look at Algeria, they started developing some years back. There is also Malawi, the first time going to the World Cup. And they have coaches, especially for, Morocco.
I think you can strike out the first part where you said, is it that we don't have talent? No. This Super Falcons squad is the most talented team in terms of players, individuals in this WAFCON? Is it from Asad Oshola was the legend of the game to Alozie to, we have, but what we don't have right now is a team. What we don't have right now is the machinery to ensure the team functions. I mean, from a tactical and technical point of view. I've never been a big fan of Justin Madugu. Congrats to him for winning the last WAFCON, right? I can't that. But I told a friend of mine, we recorded a podcast last week, the best football the Falcons played for me, you might like it or not, was when Randy Waldrum was manager of the team. That's the
best football?
Yes, that's the best football. That's the last time we were organized as a proper team. We went to that World Cup, and if not for, I think it was a red card against England.
No, England got the red card.
England got the red card.
We lost on penalties, right? We lost on penalties to England.
We were very, very organized in terms of going, clarity of, the ideas, how you want to go about the game. That's the last time I really enjoyed was Super Falcons. But with Madugu, you get a feeling that it's just guesswork. Even with these changes, you get a feeling just throwing these players, hoping that something really, really changes. And I hope that is not what is banking on against South Africa, 2 days from now, because it might really, really, really backfire. But this team, I don't think there's anything bad with this team. We just need some quality inputs technically. We talked about it before we came back on there. Look at Morocco. They've got a former World Cup winning coach, Oge Wilder, as the manager. They let Reynald Pedros leave them, and Reynald Pedros also was the guy who got them to the last WAFCON final they almost won. Remember, they 2-0 up against the Falcons. Pedros is now with Ivory Coast. Ghana, I've got Yokigren, who also comes well recommended. Everyone is really, really scaling up and improving from a technical point of view. But for the Falcons, there's a feeling that we've just stagnated, and that might just be the difference. We've talked about over the time that the rest of Africa is gradually catching up with us. I think this tournament just put it into proper perspective for us that, hey, looks like the ground is finally level playing.
All right, finally level playing after, dominating Africa 10 times. I mean, some would say the signs have been there from 2018 when they won in Ghana, fast forward to 2022 where they lost out to Morocco in the semi-finals, and then eventually winning again in Morocco. The signs have been there. But let's look at the semi-finalists. We have Algeria against Malawi, Morocco against Cameroon. Towing mouth-watering fixtures, Algeria against Malawi. You want to think that it's going to probably be physicality against tacticality?
Yeah, no, the Malawians have been the surprise package, and they've been they've shown that victory over the Super Falcons in the first game was no fluke with the results they've been able to get in the other games. And I think you can't write them off. You cannot write them off. I won't be shocked. They already have a World Cup ticket. I won't be shocked if they take it one step further by getting to the final.
All right, just been told that Onyinyechi Obaroh is with us. Onyinyechi, good evening. Welcome to the show. All right, quick one. The Super Falcons returned to training today in preparations for the game against the Banyana Banyana of South Africa. What's the mood like in camp? What's the spirit? Are the ladies looking forward to the game? Do they want to go all the way, knowing fully well that the route remaining is the CAF playoff route and then intercontinental playoff?
The mood in camp at the moment right now, they've been able to dust themselves off that defeat in the hands of Cameroon. They are not oblivious of the fact that they have lost out on the automatic route to the 2027 Women's World Cup in Brazil. The girls have been, the girls we were privy to speak to were Deborah Abiodun, Shukurat Oladipo and Uchenna Kanu, and hearing from the trio, we could understand that they are sorry about not getting that automatic ticket, that they are ready to make sure that they get this done against South Africa so they can go into the intercontinental slots of this, the route to the 2027 Women's World Cup. They have apologized for that bleep and says they will not let that bleep leave them down, but they will dust themselves off, and they've got their attention right now, their focus right now on getting the job done against South Africa. Also, the coach, who has said he has taken responsibility, is ready to put his squad together. We attended their training today, and every single player were involved in the training. So we do not have any injury worry, according to what I can see on the training today. So every one of them participated in training, and will be hoping and waiting to see who will be fielded against the Banyana Banyana of South Africa. It's a familiar opponent, an opponent who they ousted in the 2024 Women's African Cup of Nations. So they'll be hoping to do the same when they go up against them on the 13th of August.
From the training you saw today, what kind of team are we expecting against the Banyana Banyana of South Africa? Yes, one thing with Justin Madugu, you do not know which team would come out on a day. But from what you saw today, are we expecting a tweak in the players, personnel, the formation, going up against South Africa on Thursday?
That would be a decision that the coach should take, or a question the coach should answer. But as I said earlier, we saw every single player take part in training today. So the mood right now, the Falcons, they're out like a wounded lion. They're out like a tamed lion, because they understood that at this time, Africa have moved on. African women's football has moved on. According to what Uche Nakanu and Deborah Abiodun did say, the competition is now intense. The competition is high. They do not want to look at what was done or what was not done for them in order to defend this championship. They say that their focus right now is to make sure that they get that ticket to the Intercontinental playoff. They see off South Africa and get their ticket to the Intercontinental playoff. So for now, we're not sure of what players particular players will be selected to execute this game. But I think he's going to get a selection headache, because everyone are in top shape, from Joy Omewa to Asisat Oshoala that we did see. I remember that Asisat Oshoala, the news popped in that there was an injury scare around Asisat Oshoala and Okoronkwo, and that was the reason why they were not used as starting 11 for the Super Falcons in that game. But those news and rumors have been doused right now, because they're in good shape and they took part in training today.
All right, thank you so much, Onyinyechi Obaroh. Wish you all the best and have a lovely night rest. All right, that was Onyinyechi Obaroh bringing us up to speed. The ladies have started training, and
yeah. To imagine that Cameroon didn't qualify for this tournament.
That is why I was when you were saying Malawi have been a surprise. I think it's Cameroon for me.
No, because Cameroon have been in this tournament so many times.
Malawi they didn't even qualify.
Malawi are debutants, so. And even Cameroon is better ranked than Malawi.
Yeah, but I mean, Malawi have got the Chawingas, and I think it was this on the 20 AFCON when they really impressed the Malawi team. They played Nigeria. That was on the 20 qualifier or something like that.
I think so too.
Okay, that was on the 20, maybe on the 20 qualifier.
And majority of that team are also at this WAFCON, so they've grown.
Morocco, but the guys have to find a way to do the job,
Okay.
And even Justin Madugu knows that his own future is on the line. So,
I was going to ask, but maybe the handwriting might not be there yet.
If we are able to...
Do we have a coaching problem to him?
Generally this tournament, for me, has come... We were not very professional in it, because this tournament was supposed to be February, when the players were still in season. And we will have seen maybe...
That's a CAF problem, though.
Yeah, that we will have seen these players in better shape. But this tournament has come at the off-season. And that's why the Falcons also... And
some of these players are even coming from their respective villages in league.
They've been at home. That's why the Falcons...
Doesn't that apply to the other players at the WAFCON?
I told someone that the Falcons are in off-season. The Falcons that we have seen at this WAFCON are off-season Falcons.
How about other teams?
But that's why I'm saying that our coach should have, these players who are coming from villages, from holidays and everything, should have tried to set up a camp maybe 2 weeks earlier or a month earlier.
Even in Nigeria, before going to
knock off... That's why clubs have pre-season, because players come with all kinds of weights. But look at our players. Look at the kind of goals. You can't string passes together.
So preparation was poor, but I also think that there's a coaching problem somewhere.